Hey everyone, welcome to the second year anniversary for I Hate It Here. My name is Erica.
I'm Marissa.
And welcome aboard.
All aboard! Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo!
Oh my god, you guys, it's been 2 years.
It's official.
It's official.
Today.
It is. Well, I mean...
Kind of.
We don't know the fucking real date, guys. Like we've mentioned before, we don't know if we started doing this on the last week of March, it was the first week of April. We said April 8th, and then we decided to celebrate today on April 9th. So
here we are.
That's just how we roll here at the Hot Mess Express.
Yes.
But 2 years of jumping on and just doing the damn thing, Marissa.
I know. Just look at us go. Venting
away, spiraling, dragging everybody down this fucking...
Spiral with us. We said we're not going down by ourselves. We're taking everybody with us.
Yeah, so that's how I guess the show originated, right?
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before, how we came on board to AMP, and and we gave like that whole backstory in January.
Yes.
So we're not going to repeat that, guys.
Yes.
You guys have heard it. We're not going to make you hear it again. If you really want to go hear it again, I don't know what saved episode it is in Station Head, but on YouTube,
it's on there.
It's called How E and M Met.
Yes.
So you can go back and listen to that. But I mean, I think we've always talked about how we got on air and decided to do this, right? But I don't think we very rarely talk about how, like, our callers and how, like, the concept of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think we've talked about how it came to be and how we got on AMP and what happened, how we met, all of that good stuff. But I don't think we've ever talked about how it became what it is today.
Yeah.
So I'd love to dig into that one.
So when we our very, very first episode, we just jumped on air and like didn't have a microphone, didn't have anything. We just raw dogged the airwaves. We just pressed go live
with a shared little headset.
Oh, with the shared headset, because we just had the volume up and it was sounding weird.
So we plugged in some headphones. By headset,
like earbuds.
I mean earbuds, guys. I was trying to be generous.
And we were just chit-chatting, talking about how we met, and we were talking about the facility.
Yeah.
Right? Where we originate, like, first started working together.
Yeah, where we met, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just telling tales about some of those fucking characters, right? And then, like, people started popping into the show, and we're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, how are we getting listeners? Because we thought we were just we thought it was just gonna be us.
We thought it was just us speaking into the void of the...
Oh, because could we see the count?
No.
I don't remember what you could see.
No, you couldn't see the count. They didn't give you a count. They just gave you like a little, like if someone was in there, it'll give you like but it was like the tiniest little circle that you couldn't see who was there and who wasn't. So you had to kind of squint and figure out who was there.
Yeah. So, luckily we knew to break the like having to wait for somebody to come on air because of Tommy, my cousin who got us onto AMP.
Yep.
He's like, you can't play any music if you don't have a listener. So that's why you started coming in on your phone.
Yes.
But also because AMP was used to AMP. So if it ever went down on my side or off the iPad we were on.
And it did.
Plenty of times. We would jump onto your phone.
Yes.
And start and keep the show going from there.
Yep.
But we had our very first show. We had our very first call-in.
Yes, first time that we just said, fuck it, let's go live. We got a caller.
Yeah, which was, I don't know if you all remember him during the AMP days, but his name was Gregory Valdez. He used to play a lot of... His sets were fire.
They were.
And unfortunately, he just didn't get a lot of listeners. I don't know why.
But he was there from the very, very beginning, from what I remember.
Inception.
And he had awesome content. I think at some point, maybe he tried to stick to his schedule, but it didn't quite work for him.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't know why he didn't blow up as much as
I mean,
as
I remember stealing so much music from him.
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
it was so good. So anyhow, we had him as our very first caller, and he was just like, "Oh my God, you girls are absolutely wild."
Yeah.
We're like, "Oh shit! Well, thank you for listening. Like, this is crazy." so I think he was definitely our first caller. But then we also had Alien's boss.
Yes.
Was one of our very first listeners.
Callers.
No,
yeah.
she never called in.
No, she was our very first listener.
Yes. And she stuck with us for the year and a half that we were
She
in
did.
AMP. She was always in the shows.
Absolutely.
Always listening. She's fucking amazing for that. So then the
Shout
second...
out to her.
Shout out to her, yeah. So then we kind of played around with the dates for a little bit, right?
We did, yeah.
Because we're trying to figure out what worked for us personally.
Right.
And we really didn't care about anything else.
Let's be quite frank, guys. We didn't really take anything else into consideration. Traditional, I hate it here. Staying on brand.
Yeah, we were like, what days are going to work best for us?
Right, because at that time we were both, extremely busy. Because
we were at corporate.
We were both at corporate, and we were just getting slammed at that point in time. So we were just trying to figure out what days could we actually commit to and continue.
So I think by like the second week, we decided Tuesday, Thursdays, and
Yeah.
we're just going to roll with that forever. So 2 years, every Tuesday, Thursday, we've been getting on air.
At 7:30.
At 7:30, and people have been jumping in to listen to us. That's been wild. Our second show, we had, I don't know if you all remember, the Lullaby Club.
Yeah.
That was on AMP as well.
Axel.
It was one handle, and they had rotating hosts under that one handle. They came over from Clubhouse.
Yes.
And so the Lullaby Club founder, Axel, tuned in, and he also called in our second show and was like, "You girls are fucking crazy. What's happening over here?"
He's like, "This is a hot mess, but I love it."
But I love it, yeah. So he kind of was like, "I love the concept," kind of gave us a little bit of advice.
Yeah. He gave us some tips for sure.
Yeah, definitely gave us some cool tips. And so we were, we took it very, like, we were super appreciative and took it to heart. And we that's how we ended up with this format.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, that we did, because from there we were finding stories online. Sorry, guys, I'm being molested by Marissa's dog.
I'm sorry, guys. My dog is an asshole.
He's trying to get in my shirt, just like every other man. Anyhow, he gave us tips. Then from there, we decided that we were going to add stories that we found on the internet and intermix them with our personal stories, right?
Personal stories, yeah. Because at the beginning, it was just our stories.
Our stories, yeah. So we don't want to keep boring everybody with just our stories. And we were like, there's plenty of people out there that want to tell their stories.
Yep.
So we just started finding stuff on the internet, and we would read it. And then the more listeners that we got, or like every show, we would somehow get a fucking caller.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened.
I guess people felt safe, or if people were like, well, these bitches are crazy, so they can't judge me, which facts. Let's be real, 100%. But yeah, people would just feel comfortable. They just tap the mic, and it was always the callers that made it what it was, because we didn't know where it was going to go. We were just kind of going with it, because these are not, and by all means, for everybody that knows and listens here, we don't prep the callers. Like, this is not a show where we're like, hey, you're going to come in, you're going to call. Like, that's professionalism. We do not do that.
We are the exact opposite of
that. So our callers, we truly didn't know what they were going to say, what they were going to share, what was going to happen. And that was part of the ride. And
even at that, we would be so excited to get a caller that we would just stop the show in the middle of whatever the fuck we were doing.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. And we still do that.
To date.
That hasn't changed at all either. But so we always so then we got the concept down and how we wanted to run the show, right? So it was just more of like fine tuning that. And then we always knew we wanted to expand on the show, right?
Yes.
And being that we were on AMP, which was a music platform, we had to incorporate more music into the shows because we were the only talk
at that point in time.
We were like the only talk podcast style show going on. I mean, people would talk in between songs, but not
it was more curated on music, and people will really put a lot of thought and like into their sets, and they'd go into
the themes
and the history, and they would have all of this amazing content, but it was all revolving around the music. Our show was one that didn't revolve around music and had music sprinkled in.
Yep.
Because we would forget. Well, you and I could talk for hours and hours and hours and be like, oh shit, that's right, let's go to a song.
Yeah, so that way we could also reorganize ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
Because our shit's always all distraught over here.
Absolutely.
So then that's when going into January of 2022, that's when we started Songs We Hate.
Yes.
And went with our name, went with our theme, and that concept started in Blue Monday's show.
It did.
Because he used to have a show.
Shout out to Blue.
Yes. This or That, he called it. So you would have to, like, give thumbs up or thumbs down on a song, right? And I would always be like, horrible. Like, I was the Simon Cowell of that show. So everybody was like, oh, Erica's gonna hate this, Erica's gonna hate this. So he was like, we need to do a show where we just play songs that you hate. Right. So he was our very first guest, and he's the one who would like pitch the idea to us and told us to just run with it. And so now here we are a year and a half later with still doing Songs We Hate, and it's such a fucking fun show every time.
It is.
We learn so much about every co-host.
And the people listening. And the people listening. Because there's times where I'm like, okay, everybody's going to fucking hate this song. And everyone's going to be with me. And then everybody's like jamming out. And everybody's like, we fucking love this jam. And I'm like, what the fuck? Thought we were on this together. What happened?
Know, yeah. As a matter of fact, I just looked at the chat. And Jen Glenn, who is always like, we're exact opposites.
Yeah.
Of...
music taste.
Of music taste. So that's why she just put in the chat, Erica's the opposite of me. Absolutely. If I hate it, Jen's gonna love it. Is the way it goes.
Yeah.
So we've had some amazing guests, have gotten to learn so much about them and the chat because of it. And then we did Stirs the Pot, where we were pitting creators against each other. Like, we give them the same prompts, and unfortunately, because of AMP shutting down, all the creators that were still in the running stopped doing shows.
They did, yeah, and it was hard to get everybody back up. I mean, when we all got our eviction notice, it was kind of mayhem, and it was hard to kind of keep it up and put this together. So we just kind of let it be. Yeah,
and it was honestly, guys, it was so hard scheduling around people's schedules.
It was,
and we appreciated them so much for wanting to participate or for even participating. But it just got to be a lot because we were doing shows on Saturdays, doing shows on Sundays, which really took away time from Marissa and her boys.
Yeah.
So that's why when we came on to this platform, we decided to just nix that idea, right?
Yep.
But coming into this platform, we got Miss Helen, our dating correspondent.
Our official dating correspondent, Miss Helen.
To pop in once a month and do our spinoff of
The Morning After.
Yeah. Instead of doing workplace horror stories, we're doing life and dating regrets. Yes.
Because again, these are actual conversations that Erica and I have. Like all of these kind of came about. The actual show concept and the morning after and everything, these are things that we love. Like, we just talk about on a regular basis. Oh my God, like so many years ago.
We love the scoop. We love the chisme.
We love the scoop. We love the chisme. And we couldn't have found a better dating correspondent than Helen. Because my God, Helen, I absolutely love you. When I grow up, I want to be like you. And be that open and just honest and so free. I love that.
Absolutely adore Helen. And she really is the backbone of that fucking show.
Absolutely.
Because you and I are not out there.
Absolutely not. I talk a lot of shit. That's about it, guys.
But so that's been the evolution of I Hate It Here. Yeah. We have different ideas that we want to grow on and maybe spin off.
Yes.
But we're right now not in a space to add more shows weekly.
Right.
So for now, I think we're comfortable doing the Tuesdays and Thursdays, doing songs we hate once a month, doing the morning after once a month, and just pushing this show through different platforms, right?
Yeah, I think that is the growth that we're trying to look for, is to also bring in more people into Station Head to interact with people here as well.
And to start tapping into other shows.
Absolutely.
I mean, Kendall just this fucking week has done an amazing job doing
that.
Notch. Reached out to his audience from Denver, let them know, like, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and he's really brought in some good people into his show this week. So I'm trying to go down that realm a little more.
Yes.
And hopefully try to get Station Head to a level where AMP was, maybe
at some point.
With that.
Well, yeah, because they don't have the marketing that AMP had before. Station Head doesn't do that, so it's pretty much up to the people here to bring in those folks and get them to be a part of the community, get them to jump into other shows and build it in the way that we did AMP, honestly, because it was a lot. I mean, for a while, guys, at AMP, it was really like family members listening at some point. And it happens, right? So it's kind of like in that building and growth, but super excited about where it's going to go. And super excited to branch off once we have
the availability
into other things, because we definitely have some cool ideas that we want to bring to life.
Yeah, but that being said, we have talked on and on, Marissa, so let's go to a song, and when we come back, we're going to play our first game.
Yes.
So we'll be playing a round of How Well Do You Know the Host? So we'll explain a little more when we get back.
Yeah, and everybody get ready because prizes.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be giving out prizes, so if you win, get ready for a middle finger whiskey glass in your near future.
Absolutely. Let's jump into a song and we'll be right back. There we go.
All right. Well, that song just ends like that.
I know.
All right, guys.
She said, ain't no trust in these sluts, and walked away.
And then we came on air.
Can't trust nobody.
Right on cue. Can't trust these sluts. All right, guys. So here we go with our first game.
Yes.
All right. So this is what we call How Well Do You Know the Host?
Yes.
So it's going to be a mix of questions that we're going to ask you about ourselves. So first person to answer correctly, if it's Erica, Marissa, or both of us, will get a point.
Yes.
I'm also going to mix in some moral dilemmas in here, and then you tell us how we would answer.
Yes. Who would answer what, or how do you think we would answer?
Right. So okay. So first question: how long have Erica and Marissa known each other?
So type in your answers in the chat. I will be keeping score.
Yes. Fluggy put in 5. Any other guesses?
I feel like we should have hold music.
I know. Helen says 3 years, 25 years. It feels like it, Katie, but definitely not that long. All right. Well, I mean, would we give it to Flug because he's the closest?
He's the closest, yeah.
It's 8 years.
8 years.
That we've known each other.
Yep.
Okay. And I mentioned it earlier. Where did we meet? A name that, I mean, do you know what we call that place?
Yeah, just let us know what we call that place, or we've talked about it enough, and we actually mentioned it at the start.
Yes, I mentioned it in the beginning.
All of these we mentioned most at the start.
No.
So no, not corporate, guys. It wasn't at corporate.
All right, should we just give the answer?
Let's give it a couple more seconds here, seeing if someone can come up with the answer.
I know, I feel like I need to sing or something.
I know.
But no, guys, it was not corporate. We met at the facility.
Yes.
So from the facility, we got, I was going to say drafted.
Well, it feels like that.
We got recruited, right? It does feel like we were drafted into another war, to another war zone. But no, we were recruited to corporate. All right. So let's throw in a moral dilemma into the mix. Okay. Marissa, Okay, I'm going to aim this one at Marissa, okay? Let's say that Marissa's a reporter. The family of a murder victim has refused her request for an interview. Her editor demands that she keeps calling. Does she keep calling?
This is easy, guys.
Would she keep calling, yes or no? Everybody. B. Coop got it right.
Yeah.
She would fucking lie.
No. Be like, you fucking call. I'm not fucking calling.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, shit. Okay, let's pull a moral dilemma for me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm visiting LA, and I spot my favorite movie star having cappuccino. The star is a disguise to escape attention. Do I approach that person? I just pulled it from the deck.
It's judging you.
Wow, universe. Wow. And yep, Katie's right. I leave him alone.
Hey, fool.
Hey, fool.
Yeah, well, you would. Hey, fool.
Just what I did with freaking Paul Banks, who, by the way, guys, I did shoot my shot with him. I DM'd him and was like, hey, bumped into you in your New York show. You're going to be down in Houston. We're going to be there again. Can we get a picture? And it's been left on red.
But he read it.
No, it's left on red. He hasn't seen it.
Aww.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe I should try the Interpol account and not his direct account. Okay. Anyhow,
Wait, who got that point?
Katie did.
Katie got the point.
Katie got the point. All right. So then let's go back to some more. Okay, guys, what do I do for work? What pod do I, or what part of the business do I work in?
Yes.
Yep.
Helen
got it. All right.
Right.
Oh my God, this one is gonna crack me up because I don't know if anybody's gonna really know. Okay. What does Marissa do? Like, what is her position in her job? I think you're gonna be like Chandler Bing. And nobody's gonna know. Oh, Helen got it.
Yep.
Helen got it. Ops. She does ops.
Yep. Client services. Wouldn't that be?
Oh, fuck that, Katie. She would have been fired a long ass time ago.
I would have been like, you know what? Fuck your face. Close your fucking account. We don't need you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Another personal one. Okay. Have we talked about the age of your kid? How old are Marissa's kids?
I have.
Bonus, what gender are they? I don't know. Have we talked about their age? We have?
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see. Fluggy put 8 and 5.
Boys.
Helen put in 14 and 17. Coop put 24 and 7. Flood got right with boys. Katie put 14. Sal put 6 and 9. So
I'm gonna give it to Helen because she got
closest.
She
got the genders right.
She got the genders right, and she's the one that got the closest. So my boys are actually 15 and 10, gonna be 11.
Yes. All right. Oh my God, let's talk about my kids now.
But yes, B-Coop, they feel like they're fucking 24. The 15-year-old looks like he's 24. Looks like a grown man and smells like one too.
So guys, that being said,
we're jumping over to your kids.
Yes, what gender are my kids? My little cheweenies. And how many do I have?
And how many do you have?
Flug put cheweenies. He knew that. Oh, fuck.
He's like, just for good measure.
Almost. Oh, my sister's in there. Yeah, Katie got it. 3.
Katie.
Yes, you've got bitches. No, I don't have bitches. One bitch and 2 boys. The Cheweenie brother are 2 little brothers, and then the rescue is a female.
Yes.
But she really runs the house.
Yes, she does.
All of us are her bitches in that house.
So watch out, Katie in the lead.
All right, let's go to some more moral dilemmas. Okay. Marissa.
Yes.
Okay. This is about Marissa. So a good friend is having an extramarital affair and asked Marissa to provide an alibi for him or her. Does she? Does Marissa provide an alibi for her friend having an extramarital affair? Ooh, I don't even know this one.
Medusa got it right.
No, you're not fucking with that.
No, because I'm a bad liar. I'm gonna forget about the lie, and I'm. And then you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, remember?" Be like, "No, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I've never been there. I didn't see you."
All right. Let's go to one for me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have an artist friend that gives me one of her framed paintings as a gift. I don't like it, but this person frequently stops by my apartment for a visit. Do I hang it?
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah,
Do you hang it?
I would.
You would hang it?
I would hang it in a spot where I don't
Nobody
have
can
to
see
look
it?
at it.
Behind the door.
Where I don't have to look at it. But yeah, no, I would feel I would feel horrible and not
to not
have
hang
it
it.
up. All right.
See, that's where we are different.
You wouldn't put it up?
Absolutely not.
I mean, I am an asshole, and you guys know that. I mean, we were just talking about it last week when my aunt wanted me to play Selena, and I was like, no, you're going to throw my algorithm off. I'm like, no. My sister says, but I would take it down when no one's looking. I think I would just put it in a spot where, like,
you can't see it.
Nobody can really see it.
It's not visible.
Yeah, but like,
and it's not bothering you on your day to day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
no.
when she's visiting, or like he or she is visiting, like maybe they can see that it's up, but
put
not
it in their bedroom when they sleep.
But I don't know. I just would put it in a spot that I don't have to fucking see it all
Every
the time.
day. Okay.
All right, let's see. Do we do more personal? Or let's stick to the moral dilemmas because these are fun.
Yes.
You guys hear enough about our personal life anyway. Okay, Marissa, you're driving home alone on a highway at night. A desperate-looking person tries to flag you down. Do you stop?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh. Does Marissa stop? I don't even know. No, I know it. I'm swayed. I know where I'm going with this.
You're swayed?
Yeah.
Okay. Her words. Not my problem.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm saying that you're going to say no.
It depends. So this is it
Oh.
depends. If I have my kids, absolutely not. I'm not stopping.
Uh-huh.
But if I don't have my kids, I actually would stop and help someone.
You would?
Yes.
I would.
I've done it before.
Oh, I'm pulling what Katie put in the chat. She says no, but call the cops just in case they need help. That's what I would do.
Yeah, if I have my kids, I'm definitely not stopping, but I'm definitely...
Oh, I'm not stopping with or without kids. Yeah, fuck
kids.
that.
No, if I don't have my kids, I will stop. I would. I've done it
I'm
before.
A bitch. I'm like, no, I'm calling the cops. Fucking people are crazy. Okay. So now this is a moral dilemma for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a primary school teacher, and a pupil is trying very hard but is still failing. Do I flunk the pupil?
The student.
Well, the student. Would I flunk this kid?
Oh, I know the answer to that.
Let's see. Everybody's putting yes in there. And you know what, guys? I would not.
No, I was going to say, no, you wouldn't.
No, I don't want to deal with this fucking kid again.
You're somebody else's problem. No, I knew it.
Let's get him the fuck off my fucking clock.
That's
and
somebody
move you
else's.
along to somebody else's. You're going to be somebody else's problem now.
You're like, good luck.
I'm not here to, like, no. We've tried. You've tried.
I've tried.
We've given it the big E, the big effort.
Let's cut our losses and see it somebody else's problem next year.
All right. Okay, Marissa. A friend gets drunk and confides that a month ago while driving, he seriously injured a pedestrian and didn't stop. Do you report your friend?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh.
That is a good one.
Oh, fuck.
What would I do?
What would Marissa do? Would she report them, yes or no? Let's see. I don't know. So Fluggy's putting in no. My sister put depends. Medusa's saying yes unless he's got Venmo for payoff. And Katie's laughing and says this is hard.
Okay, so would I report this? I'm gonna have to give it to thumbs. It depends.
It depends.
It depends. Because it's one of those things of like, did you? It depends on the situation. Did you stop? Did you take that person to the hospital?
No, this person just fucking kept going.
Just kept going. But then, how do you know they were seriously injured? If you just kept going.
Oh, I don't. Well,
do you see what I'm saying? So it depends. It depends. If they're like, yeah, I fucking looked in the fucking rear mirror and they were laying there. Yeah, no, we gotta do something about that because you could have potentially killed someone. But if it's like, oh, I hit someone and they got up, I'd be like, they were walking.
All right, guys. How are we doing on timers? Is this the last one?
Yes, last one.
Okay, the last one before we go to a song and then we come back. Okay, so, oh my God, and another coincidental one. It's a work-related one.
Oh.
So, okay, my boss demands that I fire a subordinate. I don't think that the dismissal is justified. Do I put my own job on the line and refuse?
That is a good one. I know where I'm going to go with this one.
Oh, so let's see. Fluggy said, do it. Do it. What? I mean, like, take the... Like, fire the person, Fluggy?
Yeah.
Coop is saying, I refuse. Katie's saying, refuse and get HR involved to back you up.
Fluggy said, fuck them. Fuck them people.
And then Sal saying, yeah, show some moxie. Coop got it. He was the first one to say you refuse. Yeah, fuck yeah, I would refuse.
And I've seen you do that.
I would not.
Yeah.
I would stand up for this person.
Absolutely.
Fucking some of these managers are whack.
They are. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They're delulu, and sometimes they don't, just because they don't like the person, it's crazy.
Coop writes, if you're not flanking kids,
you're not
firing. Especially if I don't think that they did anything wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So that was our round of moral dilemmas with our hosts.
We're going to tally up the points, and then we'll announce the winner.
Yes.
When we come back.
Absolutely. And these are fun. I fucking always love these moral dilemmas.
These are awesome because, first of all, it gives me a lot of insight of what you guys think of me. And I think it's fucking hilarious because it's pretty spot on.
All right, guys, let's go to song and we'll be back. All right, guys.
We are back. So this segment, as we are thinking about this past year, and we've done this before where we've shared kind of like the crazy stories that we've kind of read throughout our time. But we wanted to do something, and there's always the ones that stick out to us the most. Mm-hmm. But we really wanted to talk about which ones have been our favorite in the past year.
Yep.
So with that said, we are going to introduce the songs that we both...
The stories.
The songs. I didn't even speak today. I'm sorry. The stories that we liked. So my pick was, for those of you who haven't heard it, we're going to read through
the story
again, but this is my pick. So, Erica?
So Marissa's was, my employee accidentally posted porn to the company group chat and now wants to resign in shame. Look at her fucking already cracking up. Okay. So somebody wrote in and says, please help me. I'm panicking here. My employee just posted a very, very explicit porn video to our company's main announcements chat room, which has over 200 members. The video featured several very unusual niche fetishes. I'm not trying to kink shame at all, but I just mean to say that the video was extremely shocking and just ... memorable. There were very few awkward comments and shocked emoji reactions before she quickly deleted the comment. I also saw it, but before I could do anything, she called me completely distraught. She basically said that she was deeply sorry and deeply ashamed and that she wanted to resign because she couldn't face us again. She wanted to mail in her laptop. I could barely get in a word. In any case, since she is already on PTO, I told her that she didn't need to make any decisions yet and that this wasn't a big deal and would blow over. So she's still on vacation right now. I'm not really sure how this happened, but regardless, I don't care because it's obviously an accident. She obviously wasn't trying to sexually harass anyone. She's clearly apologetic, and I'm absolutely sure she's learned from it and won't make that mistake again. I want to reassure her that she absolutely does not need to resign, that although it might be embarrassing for a short while, this too shall pass and everyone will get over it. Most importantly, I don't want her to resign because she's genuinely an amazing person. She's super smart and creative, exceptionally hardworking and reliable, helpful and kind, and just overall a great person to work with. I would even describe her as one of the best hires I've made, someone with a lot of potential. I can't say enough good things about her. I don't want her to think that this is the end of the world because it isn't, or that this incident would make me think any less of her, but I'm at a loss for how to get her through this. And to be honest, I feel like I really understand where she's coming from. If I were her, I know how utterly mortified I would feel. I think I literally had this nightmare once. The chat room in the main bulletin board for our company has 200 plus members, and most people at the company probably have, quote unquote, all notifications on for that particular room. It is likely that many people saw it, so I can understand the impulse to just up and disappear. However, while that is obviously an overreaction to the situation, she seemed dead set on accidentally going through. She said she was dead set on actually going through with it. Mm-hmm. So quitting, right? She's out of there. I have no idea how to deal with this situation, and I don't have too much time before her PTO is over. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out, 1, what do I tell her when she comes back? Should I email/call her now before she gets back? How should I help her get through the embarrassment, deal with the aftermath? 2, what do I do in the meanwhile that she's not here? Do I need to talk to my other employees/coworkers? Should I try to play this off as a virus or something? 3, do I need to discuss this with HR? As I said, it's obvious to me that this isn't sexual harassment. What do I even say to them, if anything? 4, about 200 plus other people at this company. Do I need to do anything regarding that? Speak up for her somehow? A lot of those people haven't met her, so they don't have the same positive impressions of her that I and her teammates do. Should I try to say something in advance? My instinct is to just leave it be and trust that people will forget. What should I do if she really quits? I already lost count of the bulletin boards, guys. Yeah. And then anything else I'm not thinking of. I really just care about her. I think she's a fantastic employee and person, and I really hate to see her in this position. I feel awful that she feels this awful about it, and I want to do right by her, whatever that means. Any advice at all would be deeply, deeply appreciated. Marissa is dying over here.
You gotta move.
Yeah.
You gotta move. Fuck it. I gotta relocate. I gotta go to another country.
I would fucking quit.
I gotta quit. I can't come back from this.
No.
And especially it's not even like just regular porn. It's
no, like
a kink.
Like kinky niche. Like
very niche. Yeah, like I have a new identity now.
And I think people are agreeing with you. Oh, fucking Coop puts in the chat, PTO equals porn time off.
And let me tell you, I will never look at that acronym ever the same ever again.
Sal is asking, how does that happen, though? I don't even know, Sal. Like, I don't... Why is there computer... Like, why is she...
No, you sometimes have your apps on your phone. Like, mm-hmm. I know I use... So, for my line of work, we don't get the 2 phones anymore. They give us a stipend for...
Using your
phone. So, I get that. But if you know your company apps are on there... What the fuck are you doing there? Why are you...
Like, how do you get to that app? So, with corporate, or even with this job, I do have apps, right? I have, like, Teams and other shit, like, work apps on there. But I have it, like, on, like...
A separate folder.
Like, the last page. You know how you get to swipe a couple pages? Like, those are on my very last page. So, there's no fucking way I'm getting into that accidentally.
Absolutely.
Coop puts in the chat, hashtag never forget.
Never. They will never forget.
Ever forget. That's fucking embarrassing.
You're going to be kinky porn girl for the rest of your time there. And I'm sorry. I love that this manager's like, it's going to blow over. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry.
That will never blow over.
That will never blow over.
People are hashtag never forget.
Never forget. There's people that we talk about till this day, almost 10 years later, that did one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I will never forget.
And absolutely. NJ Katie, you put she's faking her own death.
Absolutely.
As we are. Katie, I'm moving to Switzerland.
I'm moving to another fucking country. I have a new identity.
Absolutely. Like, I don't even want to work in the States anymore. Because we might cross paths.
We must cross paths at some point. I gotta go international. I gotta go international now.
And then, what else? Coop writes,
that's going on people's work calendars to make baked goods each year on the anniversary.
So yeah, that was Marissa's pick.
That was my pick. I absolutely love this story. Until this day, it makes me giggle like a church girl every time. So
I know she was cracking up when I was reading this story the whole time. Okay, so then the story that I chose, was not a workplace horror story.
No,
this was actually the very first story that we used for the morning after.
Yeah,
and if you all did not tune into that show, this is probably the worst one night stand ever possible in like the history of one night stands. I just can't, like, even thinking about it to this very day, I just am like, what the fuck?
The fuck was that?
Because it is so terrible. So let's go down that story once again.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the story is, I am a 26-year-old woman and I work in an office. I've never had a boyfriend before. A couple of months ago, a man started working here. He was pretty cute and also very nice to me as well. After a while of working together, I started to feel more and more strongly towards him. I honestly felt like I was in high school again. Anyway, me and him started to hang out after work with a group of friends from work. Mm-hmm. Right? So it was a group of them that would go out. During one of our outings, he mentioned something about him being single to us. At that moment, I decided it would be the best move to pursue him. By the way, guys, this is not the original story.
No.
She went in there and re-edited the original one that I have found.
Yes.
Because she's done a lot of edits because the story is so fucking crazy. But it was not this. This like professional
to like
go in there and rework?
Go in there and reword it and make it sound better.
Uh-huh. So anyhow, so I asked one of my friends to keep the group we usually hang out with to stay away for one night, right? So she plotted with these people like, we're going to pretend we're all going to go out to bar like we usually do.
But none of you motherfuckers.
Nobody show the fuck up because
it's my time to shine. This is my time.
Absolutely. That way it would just be me and him, she writes. So that Friday, I went to the bar we always went to. After a few minutes of waiting, he showed up. It was just me and him alone. Well, of course, because that's how she set it up, right?
I know.
We talked for a couple hours, and after a few beers, I got the courage to make a move. I don't remember what happened. We were both pretty hammered, but I remember we were kissing rather heavily. I think I tried to kiss him first, but I can't remember. I told him we could go to my house, which is just down the street. Not a far walk at all. When we got home, I led him straight to my bedroom, and we continued what happened in the bar. We were intimate that night, and I didn't intend to go that fast with him, but alcohol makes people do crazy things. So original story.
Bullshit.
She was all up on that.
Oh, fuck yeah, she was.
She was plotting to get that D.
That day.
Was ready for it.
She said, today's the day.
She came in here and rewrote history, this girl.
Absolutely, she did.
They should not let them go in there and re-edit.
No.
They should just let them post updates, because this is fucking crazy.
No, she was all about it. She was like, I've been looking forward to this day, and
right?
That's what I'm going to do.
So she writes, I know it was a mistake. We didn't talk about our intentions or anything. We just jumped into bed. That morning, I woke up feeling very warm in my heart. I truly was in love with him. I laid there contemplating, and I was very excited. I honestly thought we'd be a couple. I thought I found a man I truly wished to marry. After a few minutes, he woke up, and as soon as he did, he got out of bed and started putting his clothes on. I called out to him and he looked back to me. His face was completely red. I told him, I love you. Ooh, the cringe factor.
No.
Oh my God. He didn't say anything. He just looked away and tried to dress faster.
Well, fuck yeah. You know what? At this point, I'm leaving naked. Fuck it.
Oh, I'm dying for this person. This story gets me every fucking time.
At this point, I'm taking your sheets and you can keep my clothes.
So this gets even cringier. I thought he didn't hear me, so I repeated, Don't you hear me? Don't you hear me? I said I love you.
She doubled down.
I can't right now for this person. He didn't say anything, just looked away. Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything. Instead, he quickly walked out my bedroom door, not running, but moving briskly. I quickly threw on a robe.
Just power walking.
Getting the fuck out of there. I quickly threw on a robe and followed him. I called out his name and he stopped and turned to me. He just stuttered. He couldn't get anything out. He then said my name, and what he said next broke my heart. Look, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I don't even know why I did that last night. You just started kissing me and I couldn't control myself. Needless to say, I was devastated. I started crying and he tried to console me. I just shoved him away and he started walking to the door. I was so emotional that I tried to throw a shoe at him. I feel strongly for him, but he just used me for and rearranged the first everything, right? Because it wasn't really written that way. But
I think it's because of the comments that she got, the backlash that she got.
Yeah, because people did not side with her.
No.
Right? Because guys, the story gets so much fucking worse. So what she fails to mention in the first, or how when she rewrote history, is that she was a virgin.
Yeah. She completely omitted that part.
When we originally read it, she talked about how she was like, he took her virginity and she was in love, and that they were going to
get married. Like, she had this whole...
They were going to be the power couple.
But yeah, she had this whole fantasy in her head and she ran with it.
Yep. Okay, so then we go back now into the continuation of the story, right? Because it just gets worse. So she writes, if you don't remember, I had a coworker who I had very strong feelings for, but we kind of rushed things. We were drunk and had a bit of a one-night stand.
A bit? No, girl.
Which we rush things is
you rush
fucking
things.
Crazy because she totally plotted.
She schemed and plotted, and now she's clutching her pearls going, oh, what happened?
Right? We were drunk and had a bit of a one-night stand. I confessed that morning, and he had a very contact. He just used me for sex. I was pretty peeved, but I did get over it. No. That's not how the original story went.
You used him for sex.
Yeah, she used him for sex. What the fuck?
I would have been like, now I'm mad.
Yeah. The man is the only person I have. Oh, she does talk about it there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
However, after a while, I had been feeling sick. I went to my doctor and I discovered I was pregnant.
Ugh.
The man is the only person I have ever slept with. So there she mentions that he took her virginity. I had struggled with the thoughts. Should I tell him or not? I decided not to. I was scared to because he had cut off all contact. I kept quiet out of fear mostly. That, and I also kept my mouth shut. So fear of what? I mean, she created this whole...
Well, fear of him going off on her because she created this mess. She created this whole illusion in her head, took it, ran with it, got herself knocked up, and then she's like, oh, he was so mean to me. No, ma'am.
No. So continue with the story, because she's now pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And he's not talking to her. He's got a new chick. He's now a new power couple with somebody else. And she continues, but my belly started growing and rumors started circulating. Everyone in the office knew I didn't have a boyfriend. Me and him both kept quiet about the one-night stand. However, my manager had asked me I started crying. He sat me down in his office and calmed me. I told him it was the guy. So she confessed to her boss. I tried to tell him, but he didn't want to listen to me. He called. Oh, I'm sorry. She told her boss that she tried to tell the guy, but he didn't want to listen to her. That he called her a psycho and threatened to report her to HR department if she didn't leave him alone. I had become depressed and told everyone at work what a selfish piece of crap he was. So, throwing it back on him, right? So things went on a downward spiral from him. Because he's been completely ostracized in the office, no one wants to talk to him, and his girlfriend dumped him. I think he finally got his dues paid. Karma came back and bit him in the keister. So lo and behold, I actually got a text from him. He said he wanted to talk about it, so I stopped by his house. We got into an argument because I told him he needed to man up, but he told me he hated me and to get out of his life. He shouted at me, why do you have to get pregnant? Like it's my fault. He's the one who used me for his own benefit. He's blaming me for his being dumped by his girlfriend. Oh, and he sent me a text saying that he knows of a place, a good hospital. I asked him what he was getting at, and he told me it would help get rid of our problem. He said he would pay for me to get rid of the baby growing inside me, and I told him no. So flat out loud, he told me he wasn't going to help me raise the child at all. He is consistently asking me after work and during break to terminate it, but I don't wish to. I want to have the baby. I'm against abortion, and I want him to man up and help me raise a child that he helped father. What can I do?
Go to therapy, ma'am. Go to fucking therapy.
I think that she is fucking delulu. I think she's so crazy. And I'm going to stick to what I said the first time we read this story. I think that she thought he was going to fall in love with her.
I think I'm telling you, she had this fantasy in her head where because she planned this meet cute. She planned this whole like, oh, funny, it's just us here. Nobody else came, blah, blah. Like, she planned this whole thing out. She thought they were going to ride off into the fucking sunset and be a family and get married, and
he was going to fall in love with her after. And I did crack jokes about it the first time we read the story. I'm like, okay, it was her first time having sex, right? Because he took her virginity. So she probably was laying there like a starfish. Like, was probably the worst, even though they were drunk, right? Because drunk sex is pretty messy.
On both sides.
Yeah, it's messy on both sides. But could you imagine having drunk sex with somebody who's never had sex? So they're really not doing anything.
And then you're not all there either.
So it was probably fucking horrendous sex.
Yeah. It's not like the best sex of your life.
No, he wakes up the next day and he's like, what
confused
the fuck?
Where the fuck he is, because that's not a good feeling, guys.
And then she starts saying,
I love you.
And he's like, then she like starts destroying this guy's life.
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, she's no Charlotte, as Coop is putting in the chats. She did not self-conceive. She's not.
I don't think she self-conceived either.
No.
I think she was having a good old time in that aquarium.
Yeah. So I think that she really fell in love with him and thought once she told him she was pregnant, that he was gonna fall in, he take ownership of being a dad, and then they were gonna raise this child together, and then he'd eventually fall in love with her.
Yeah, she thought she was gonna get her Hallmark movie.
Yeah, and
she didn't. Welcome to the rest of the world.
Absolutely. So this was I think this story is still crazy. Reading it over again, I know it was only in November when we read this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's only been a couple months, but I still think this is fucking wild. I think this person has serious mental health issues.
Absolutely.
So those were our 2 picks of stories, guys. Crazy, our 2 favorite crazy stories of this year.
Yes.
So we're gonna jump into a song because I need to drink some water.
Yes. And we'll be right back.
Hey guys, we are back.
Yes.
And in true I Hate It Here fashion, we completely forgot to mention the winners of the game.
Yes.
Earlier, we just jumped right into the stories.
We were like, fuck this, next.
We said we're going to come back and we're going to let you guys know the winners, and then we totally spaced out and forgot about it.
But nobody reminded us because they're so cool about it. They're like, Switches will get around to it eventually. So, the winners of the game is Katie and B Coop.
Yes, you guys were totally tied. So please DM us at the I Hate It Here account. DM us your address so that we can send you guys a gift.
Yes.
And we were gonna play another game, but time's ticking, and you guys know that we can't concentrate.
We turn into pumpkins, guys.
Yeah, we can't concentrate after an hour.
Yes.
So we're gonna wrap it up. But like in all honesty, you guys, we need to thank you all.
Yes.
We have people tuning into this madness, calling in for this madness.
Yeah. And being a part of this.
Yeah, for putting up with our stupidity.
Facts.
So I mean, really appreciate you guys so much.
Yes.
I mean, you would have told us 2 years ago that we were going to be that we would last this long.
Yeah.
We would have never believed it.
Would have been like, bullshit.
Yeah, we just thought we were experimenting, we were going to see what was going to happen.
And where it was going to go. We had no clue.
No, like I said, we just hit go live and raw dog the airwaves. And here we are 2 years later. But not only has this been fun, right? Because you and I get other people to spiral with us. And, and like the shenanigans. But it's really the friendships that have developed.
Yep.
Through this whole crazy experiment, right? Okay, so maybe I would have been like, okay, yeah, the show could probably, if you would have told me 2 years ago, yeah, your show's gonna last 2 years, I would have been like, really? Like, people are gonna put up with our nonsense for 2 years? Mm-hmm. Okay, like, that's a little probable. But if you had told me that I was gonna create some of the strongest friendships that I have because of this app, I would have never believed it.
Right.
We've made some amazing friends. I mean, granted, Marissa is my ride or die. Has been for 8 years. But
the people, like you guys are amazing, and getting to know you all.
The friendships are
outside of this
have just really, that's been what has made this whole thing worth it.
Absolutely. So if we were to, and it happened to us at AMP, or it shuts down. We don't know what's going to happen. I know that we walk away with friendships and people in our lives that are going to be there, are going to be there regardless of Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that, to me, is incredible.
Absolutely. I really appreciate everybody so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day when you could be doing something else to tune in and go down go off the rails with us on the Hot Mess Express.
Absolutely.
So truly thank you.
Yeah,
what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you all so much. We really, this without you all is not possible. It's not feasible.
No.
And thank you. Just thank you
from
the bottom of our hearts.
And this is as mushy as we're gonna get, guys.
And this is it because fuck y'all. I gotta end it on that note.
Yes. But just some quick housekeeping before we jump off, right?
Yeah.
We have Flug joining us on Thursday for another installment of Songs We Hate.
Yes.
So he's ready. He said on his show he's ready to have people hate him. He's ready to make people angry.
He is ready to go.
So it's going to be for a fun show because he's going to come with some very strong opinions.
Yes.
And I like that for him. And I like that for us. Monthly pop-up of the morning after.
With Miss Helen.
Helen, who already has stories, after the March pop-up, already had stories the next day that you needed to share.
And I've been waiting for a month to hear these stories. So I cannot wait.
So it's going to be, that's going to be a wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it, guys.
Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for jumping on, celebrating the shenanigans on our 2-year anniversary. We appreciate you all. We'll leave you with this last song.
Up, and we will see you at your shows.
Or Thursday.
Oh, on Thursday. Oh, no, yeah. On your shows or Thursday.
Or Thursday.